Hey everyone, welcome back to Evony with Genghis. Day 3 of the coin strike before the event even begins, and Evony has caved. They're asking for a developer call with players. They sent this mail out to probably I don't know, 10 people or so got it on every server. I'm just guessing. I think it's probably VIP based or recent coining based. There might also be a little bit of randomness based in it, but I would guess a fair amount of people got this. I've seen it all over. I got one. Basically, you join. It doesn't mean you're going to get invited to the dev call. They will select 50 people in the group. That's usually how it goes. And then maybe 25 actually go because, people sign up. They will put a post in the group and it'll say, sign up if you want to join. And then they'll say, we'll pick 50 people from here. But everyone doesn't really know the times. They don't know if they're going to make it. So it ends up being less. Anyways, no, Evony didn't cave. I don't believe that. I think, it's a bit of a coincidence. They did it right at the start. But keep in mind, they do tend to do these calls around this time of the year. And there was a big update last event, right? With the military tactics and the rally spot, and ideal land went up, a couple other things, I think. So there might be more coming, and they tend to use these calls to ask us, hey, what do you think of the new buffs in the rally spot? What do you think of the new ideal land thing? And they want to gauge to see, is this something you're going to spend on? So this doesn't necessarily mean they know anything about the coin strike. Or maybe they do, but every other coin strike in the past, players have folded and they've just blown it off, right? Especially because the chances they heard of this coin strike in the last 72 hours and they decide to send this email is really low because the coin strike momentum has been going on for about a month and then it's been pushed back 2 weeks. So they would have heard of it probably before the last 2 or 3 days. And I doubt that the amount of spending in the last event made them think oh, this time it's real. This time it is absolutely real. We must schedule a dev call. So I honestly do think this is a coincidence. I guess we'll see. Now, what's going to happen in this call? There is talk amongst players that they should spam it and have 1,000 people join. So that it's just here's your crap. We don't want to be part of it. Or no one go at all. Or go to it regularly, but how it regularly happens, but try and have some people from the coin strike in it. I think it should be taken seriously, in terms of, I don't think that people should smear it. I think that people should join it how they normally would and ask questions and raise concerns, because there are people who have concerns that aren't in the demands of coin strike, right? But they are part of the coin strike. So you should join and if you feel you have something serious, game-changing, not something someone on my server, I don't get along with them. But if you have an actual issue, something that, that you're withholding money for, by all means, that should be brought up. And then also, I hope that there's people who represent, people who have let's go with the agenda, people who represent people who are on that agenda and have questions. They should be in there and asking questions too. So I don't think it helps to not talk. I think in any real strike or protest in life, first the sides talk. And then if things go south, the one side's being ignored, then you start to get pushy and, ultimatum type statures, right? But you should absolutely go in and talk, and it should be people who have a level head. They know how to ask questions. They know how to speak to Evony. Remember, a lot of the times in the dev calls, people ask a question, Evony doesn't understand, and then there's just silence and it goes on to the next question. Or Evony does understand and ignores. But if you ask questions, the same question, 3 or 4 different ways, right? Use synonyms, words that mean the same thing to help people who don't understand English. Use smaller words. It can help them and you might get a better response. So it would be nice, hopefully, suspensions, permanent bans, that sort of stuff is brought up. Hopefully, I would assume that Evony's just going to kind of counter and be we added the auto join. What do you think of this? Is this good? This is something you like? And like, that's about it. I don't see them talking much about suspensions. I don't see them talking too much about reversing suspensions. Future dev calls, they will obviously say, oh, yeah, of course we will have them. And then, we're 1 year out from the last dev call. So I guess that's their idea of future. They always say regularly, but they never, ever follow through on that. So anyways, let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this. Did you get an invite? Are you planning to attend? What sort of issues would you like to be discussed here? I think that regardless, there's going to have to be future calls, right? And possibly with less people on the call, like people are pushing for. But there's nothing wrong with this call that may have 20 or 30 people involved and have people ask some questions and voice some concerns and say, I'm really not going to spend money. But it is going to have to be followed through with actions, right? Last event, I think, was a setback in the coin strike. People spent a lot. So going forward, hopefully, it follows through and people stick to it. I know that some people need to buy stamina packs. People are asking about that. For me, I'll just use gems if I need stamina. I'll just go on the black market. That's it. I'm not planning to spend on the game right now anyways. I agree with some of the reasons on the coin strike. And then, like I said, I have some of my own things that should be added to it. One thing that I've seen some people talk about is server teleports. Some people are super against them, and some people are all for them and think it would solve a lot of problems. I'd like to see the option and see how it plays out. It can't be worse than how their current merger situation is. By the way, I like my merger. Server is going well. Anyways, enough rambling. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it. Like, subscribe, leave a comment.